In this video, we will be filing into a new case. Your time is money, and you need to get rolling, so without further grandstanding and delay, let's get into it. First, we're going to click on the blue button that says File the Courts. And then we're going to have a question. Are you filing an original petition with the courts? We are, so we're going to click on File a New Case. Which takes us to step 1, Case Information. And now you're going to see, on the left-hand side, that we have some red stars. The first red star is case title, so we're going to enter our case title, which will be on the top left-hand side of the petition that you're filing. Once you've done that, here's our next red star. Choose the court you wish to file in. For today, we're going to be filing into Andrews County Clerk. Our next red star is going to be choose the case category. We're going to go to our drop-down, and in this case, we'll be filing a civil contract case. Next red star is choose case type, and we're going to select debt contract debt collection. Someone owes us money. Now we have select attorney, and we have our attorney drop down. You'll just select the attorney that you need. In our case we have 2, but we'll select the 1. Our next red star is going to be payment account, and then we're going to go to the drop down. If you have multiple payment accounts, choose the one that you need, and then make the selection. Then our last one is damages sought. This will be how much money you're suing for. In our case, it's over $1 million. Then we're going to click the next button, which takes us to step 2, parties. Now we're going to see our red stars on the left-hand side. First is party type, and we're going to click the drop-down menu and select the plaintiff. Then we're going to see our first name, last name, middle name. So we'll enter our first and last name for our party. When you've done that, scroll down, and you'll see a big blue button that says Add Party Details. If there's any address information, you can add it here, but we're good for now. We've added our first party. You'll see that information scrolling horizontally. And next, we're going to check the button that says Filing Party. That's super important. You always want to make sure you have that box checked. Next, we're going to repeat the same process. We'll go to Party Type, and now we'll click the drop-down menu, select Defendant. And now we're going to enter the information for our defendant. Now that we've added the information for the defendant, we do have address information. So we're going to enter our street address. And then you'll see on the red stars, we have the city, state, and zip code. So we'll just be entering standard demographic information on these boxes here. Once you've done so, you'll click the blue button for Add Party Details. We'll scroll back up to the top, and you'll see that you have your plaintiff, and you'll have your defendant scrolling horizontally at the top, which means they've been successfully added. We have our filing party box checked. We scroll down, and we're ready to press Next. Which takes us to step 3, Service Contacts. Now this is not a required step, but just in case you need to add anything, our first box is search for service contact. So we have our first name, last name, firm name, and email. These are all pieces of information that can be searched. And if you have that information, you would click the button for search for attorney. As we scroll down, you'll see select from existing firm contacts. When you click on the arrow, if you have firm contacts, you'll see boxes for each of the contacts you have to check. In our case, we don't, so we go to Add New Service Contact to Firm. And this information, if we had someone to add, we would enter their first name, their last name, and their email address. And then we would select Save Service Contact. Since we don't, we will skip this step. And now that we're ready, we'll go and click Next. Which takes us to step 4, Filings, the whole reason why we are here. On the left-hand side, we're going to have 3 red stars that we're going to be working with. We have filing type, client matter number, and filing description. So for the filing type, we're going to go over and click the drop-down button, and we're going to select petition. That's the reason why we're here. Now we have our next red star, which is client or matter number. Ours today is going to be test, but this can be any piece of information you need for this case. Our filing description is next. And since we're filing a petition, we will enter plaintiff's original petition. Now that we've added that, we're going to highlight and press Ctrl-C. I'll tell you why in a minute. your next box will be enter any message or instructions for the court clerk. If you have any information for the clerk, you would enter the information here. In our case, we don't. Next, we have courtesy copies. If anyone needs a copy, you would just enter their email address in the box highlighted. Next, we have preliminary copies. Same process. If you have any information, enter their email address in this box. We scroll down and we have optional services. If there's anything that you need to add, such as a citation or a jury fee or service, you would highlight one of these optional services, press the Add button, and then you would see your selection in Selected Optional Services. And if you needed to remove it, you would just click that Remove button. But we're all good here, so which takes us to the Documents box. Now we have our first red star, which is our lead document. We're going to click on the button that says Browse Computer, and when we do, we're going to select our plaintiff's original petition. We'll press the Open button. Our document loads. We'll see a hyperlink that says Plaintiff's Original Petition. Next, we have our document description. Remember the Control-C? Now we're going to press Control-V, and just like that, we're going to have our document description. We're good to go. Lastly, we have document security type. We'll go to the drop-down. We don't have any sensitive data, so we'll click on Does Not Contain Sensitive Data. In the event that you do have sensitive data, just make sure you make that selection. Next, we have attachments, and if you had any attachments, you would press the Browse Computer button, and you would follow the same steps as the lead document in terms of uploading your docs. But since we don't, we scroll back up. We check our filing. We have our filing type, which is the petition. Our client matter number's filled out. We have our filing description. We have our correct payment account, our filing attorney, and everything checks out. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to see our lead document. Everything's uploaded. We're good to go. And then we have no attachments, but if we did, it would be in that spot. In the event, if you had another lead document, you would click on the button that says Add Another Lead Document, and we would run through the exact same steps that we just went through. But since we don't need to, we're ready to click Save and Next, which takes us to the final step we have, guys. Step 5, which is our summary page. We're almost home free, so now we just need to review all of the steps of our filing. The first was our case information, which is everything we did in step 1. Everything checks out. So now we're ready to go to step 2, which was parties. We click on the drop down, we see that we have our plaintiff and our defendant. Next we go to the filing step. We see our petition and our description and our client matter number, and finally we have service contacts. If we had any, they would be listed here. We scroll down now to the fees box, make sure everything checks out. Everything looks great for our fees. Now we have our payment account, which looks good. We have our filing attorney. So now that we have all the correct information, we did it, guys. We're ready to click that button that says Submit Case. And once you do, you'll see a pop-up that says Envelope is submitting, and that will tell you that it's on its way to the court. And now that you've done it, you're a filing pro and you're ready. Happy filing.